This is the story of Aria, a young woman who grew up in a small town. She was not born rich, she was not born powerful, and she was not born lucky. She was just an ordinary person, like you and me. But what makes her story special is this: she never gave up. Her journey will teach us that pain is not the end, failure is not final, and dreams are never too big. Aria grew up in a family that barely had enough to eat. Her father worked long hours as a mechanic. Her mother sold food at a small stall. From the time she was a child, she wanted to become a teacher. She loved books. She loved helping other children learn. But life was not kind. At school, some classmates laughed at her old clothes. She had no money for extra lessons. Many nights, she studied under a dim lamp while others slept. One evening, her father said softly, "Aria, dreams are expensive. Maybe you should forget this and just find work." But deep inside, Aria whispered to herself, "No, I will not give up." Years later, Aria applied to a big college. She studied hard, but when the results came, she had failed. The letter in her hands felt heavier than stone. Tears rolled down her face. For days she did not leave her room. Voices in her mind said, "You are not good enough. You are just a poor girl. Give up." But one morning, Aria looked at herself in the mirror and said, "I failed once, but failure is not the end. I will try again." That single decision changed everything. Aria found small jobs to earn money. She washed dishes, she cleaned houses, she sold flowers on the street. And every night, she studied. People laughed at her. They said, "Why are you wasting your time? People like us don't succeed." But she kept going. She used rejection as fuel. She turned every insult into energy. The second time she applied to college, she passed. It was not easy, but she proved to herself that persistence beats failure. In college, Aria faced new struggles. Other students had laptops, tutors, money, and comfort. She had nothing. There were days she went hungry, nights she cried silently, wondering if she belonged. But she reminded herself, "I started with nothing. I cannot quit now." She worked harder than anyone. She asked questions. She read extra. She practiced speaking English every night. Slowly, teachers noticed her dedication. Friends began to respect her. She started believing, "Yes, I can." One day, Aria was invited to give a small speech at her college event. Her hands shook. Her voice cracked. But as she spoke about her struggles, the room went silent. Her words touched hearts. People clapped. Some even cried. For the first time, she realized her pain had a purpose. Her story could inspire others. From that day, Aria not only studied to be a teacher, she also dreamed of becoming a motivational speaker, someone who could change lives with her words. But just when life seemed brighter, tragedy struck. Her father fell sick. Medical bills rose. Aria thought about quitting college again to support her family. For nights, she battled within herself. Should I sacrifice my dream? Should I stop here? But then she remembered her promise. I will never give up. She worked harder, took on extra jobs, and somehow balanced both family and studies. After years of blood, sweat, and tears, Aria graduated. She was the first in her family to hold a degree. She became a teacher, just as she had dreamed. But she didn't stop there. She started speaking at schools, colleges, and events. Her story of failure, struggle, and persistence inspired thousands. Students who once wanted to quit decided to fight again. People who thought they were broken began to believe they could rise. Today, Aria is not just a teacher. She is a mentor, a leader, and a voice of hope. Her story teaches us this: failure is not the end. Struggles are not your enemy, they are your training ground, and dreams are never too far if you refuse to give up. So whenever life knocks you down, remember Aria's journey. Look in the mirror and say, "I may be tired, I may be hurt, I may be broken, but I am not finished. I will rise, I will fight, I will win, because you too can be unstoppable.